Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. There is another big news in the immigration space with the decision by the Supreme Court just yesterday on nationwide injunction. But it came out of a particular case for birthright citizenship. So what does it mean for normal people, normal babies who are born in the United States? We'll find out. We'll also talk about what does this ruling actually mean. Is it related specifically to the birthright citizenship, or is it broader or has broader implications? We'll talk about some of the new things that have come to my attention in regards to the stamping at the consulates. And then we'll also talk about the travel scare that has been going on around on the social media. And we'll talk about who are the people who are impacted or not. There is a lot of scare about not just for the visa holders, but also for the green card holders to not travel outside. And I'm going to debunk that theory. So a lot of important topics, guys. Watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration and lifestyle related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now there was a heat wave last week and I hope you got some relief out of it. Because here in the Northeast, we certainly got some rain, which has brought the temperature significantly down. But I am enjoying that. Now with the start of the summer, you must be getting out, doing some activities, and you might want to track those activities. So check out my link in the description for Ultra Human Ring. I've been using this ring for a couple of months now, and it has been giving me a lot of insights into my activity and what should I be doing, when, and what time of the day. So use the discount code MANDAR10 to get 10% discount on any products on their website. Also, I'm going to remind that in my next video, I'm going to do a giveaway for Galaxy Watch 7. The winner will be picked out from the comments section, whoever has a best comment or meaningful comment. Also like and subscribe to the channel because that will also get you into the giveaway. Because my channel and my videos get minimum number of likes compared to the similar number of views on other channels. So let's change that. Hit that like button and let me know if you at least got some value out of the video. So let's talk about the first topic of today, which is the Supreme Court ruling on birthright citizenship. Now, I just wanted to clarify that because I got some comments, and this ruling was not specifically about the birthright citizenship. They haven't made any decision on birthright citizenship. Actually, what does the Constitution say? What does it mean and what does it not mean? They haven't talked about that. What they have done is the court didn't rule on the constitutionality of the birthright citizenship itself. So the ruling does not end birthright citizenship. So that is the first thing to note. It does not end it at all. But it certainly raises the concerns. Okay, so a lot of people are concerned what will happen to my upcoming childbirth. Will that child get a US citizenship or not? What this ruling did was actually struck down some of the nationwide injunctions that used to be given out by the district court judges. In the last several years, at least I would say last couple of presidencies, whichever party the president is from, the other party or people affiliated or judges affiliated with those parties or those ideologies gave an advisory ruling that would be a nationwide injunction. What does that mean? If there was an executive order given by a president, and if the other party or people who did not agree with that ruling, then they would go to the courts and some judge from the district court or lower court would issue an order that this ruling cannot take place or this executive order cannot be executed. And they were able to do that nationwide, not just in the jurisdiction that they were from, but nationwide. So say for instance, there was a ruling for birthright citizenship. The first day when the Trump administration took office, they issued an executive order. Anyone whose parents were not legal in the United States, or even they were on a temporary visa, their children may not get birthright citizenship. So that was issued, but that was immediately stopped by a judge, by numerous judges actually in numerous different states, and they gave the nationwide injunction in the sense that this executive order cannot be executed until a decision is made on the birthright citizenship. So that's what was happening.
And that brings me to the sponsor of today's video. Have you ever done the Google search of your own name? Look what I have found when I did mine. Here's what comes up. While some of this information is relevant, the other makes me uncomfortable that my information is exposed for a sale like this. Data brokers sell your information to scammers, spammers, or anybody else who may want to target you. Your full name, email address, home address, your relatives' names, health information, it's all out there. That's why I have been using Aura, sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out request for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it also protects me from hackers who could use this information to help them access my social media accounts, bank accounts, or other sensitive information. Aura does so much more to protect my information and my family's information from online threats I can't see. I get other features like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft insurance, and more without having to download several different apps. It's really easy to set up, and best of all, I get everything for one affordable price. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like locking the front door but leaving your back door wide open. Aura is always on, doing the hard work of keeping me safe so I can focus on other tasks with peace of mind. I value my privacy and I value yours. You can go to my link which is on the screen and in the description and start your free 2 weeks trial. So protect your information, your family, and have a peace of mind. That's Aura.
Now, what the ruling says is Friday's ruling addressed 3 lawsuits that were filed against Trump administration or executive order seeking to deny birthright citizenship to children born in the US to undocumented parents or certain non-citizens on a temporary visa. The judges in those lawsuits granted nationwide injunctions against Trump's birthright citizenship executive order, arguing that it violated the citizenship clause of 14th Amendment. But the Supreme Court of the United States ruled that in most cases the district court's judges cannot issue nationwide injunctions to block federal policies. They can only grant relief to the individual or group who brought a particular lawsuit. So this is important. So there are exceptions to it. What they said was no district courts could issue a nationwide injunction. So this ruling from Friday was taken in a wrong way. People were scared that going forward the babies born here in the United States will not get the citizenship. That is not true. What this is it was all about the nationwide injunctions, but it just happened to be in the birthright citizenship case. But it applies to all forms of nationwide injunctions. So it will be harder for these judges to stop presidential executive order except for some specific scenarios in which they can still go ahead and do class action lawsuits. They can still go ahead and do class action lawsuits. Now, class actions is basically you define a particular class of people who are impacted, who are similarly impacted. Say, for instance, in this case, you could say that any person who is born in the United States, any babies born in the United States to any parents could be a particular class of people. So people giving birth to children could be a class of people. They could still file a class action lawsuit. Now this class has to be approved, so it cannot be like infinite class. Like every human being on earth can be a class of people, right? So I don't know how courts are going to rule on that and in regards to class actions. But the Supreme Court said that generally a district court cannot just stop president from executing an executive order. So that's what it is all about. Since yesterday, for 30 days, the stay will still be there for citizenship, but beyond 30 days after yesterday, which would be around July 27th, the Trump administration can actually issue an executive order and that could come into effect. So specifically talking about children born until 26th of July could automatically get US citizenship, but children born after July 27 may not get US citizenship if president is still allowed to execute his order. There are going to be a huge bunch of lawsuits filed, and these will be class action lawsuits, not the regular injunctions. So judge cannot stop president from going ahead, but they can still file a class action lawsuit that could have a similar effect as a nationwide injunction. Supreme Court has also said that the judges could only issue an order or stay in their particular jurisdiction or state. So if everybody has to be stopped, then every state in the United States will have to follow a class action lawsuit in their particular state to cover all 50 states. Now there are again different ruling parties in different states. So some red states will not do this, but blue states definitely will stop president. So how is this going to play out is not known. We'll see how it comes out of it in the next couple of days. But my speculation is this is going to be debunked again. President will not be able to execute this order because this is such a sensitive topic, and there are going to be thousands and thousands of lawsuits, class action lawsuits, to again stop this or bring some kind of a stay for this executive order. So from the citizenship perspective, in the long term, I don't believe anything is going to change. We'll see when the Supreme Court actually makes a decision on what the language in the Constitution actually means. And it could take 1 year, 2 years, or it could not happen altogether. So who knows, right? So don't be scared about this particular ruling that came yesterday in regards to the citizenship. Okay, now this ruling has big implications, because now the president or the administration can go forward with other executive orders, not necessarily just the citizenship, but there are so many other orders that were stopped or blocked by the district court judges that can go into effect because of this ruling. So that's what it is. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comment section below, and I will do some investigations, because even I'm trying to understand what this all really means. I do a lot of reading, and that's how I get this information. So you don't have to. So put down in the comment section below, because if there are any targeted questions, I can certainly follow up in my next video. Now let's talk about the second topic, which is the stamping at the border. Now I'm hearing from people who are going for the routine stamping of their visas outside of the United States in the consulates. Every consulate has their own set of requirements in terms of what documentation is needed for the H1B, L1 or any other visa stamping. Now, one of the key things that has come to my attention is police clearance certificates. Now, some of the consulates are asking for PCCs now to clear the background check a little sooner. So if that is the need, I want you to pay attention to what is the checklist that a particular consulate issues, so that you can be ready with that documentation when you are ready to apply for your visa. So PCC never used to be the requirement, but lately I heard from a couple of people that they were asked for police clearance certificate before going to an interview at the consulate to get their visa stamped. So keep that in mind. Let me know in the comment section below if you have encountered any such requirement when you did your stamping lately, so that we can share this information with the rest of the audience. And lastly, let's talk about the travel scare. Now, there is a lot of content in the social media regarding how people should not travel. There are a lot of lawyers and YouTubers saying that you should not travel if you're not a US citizen. So even if you have a green card, you should not travel. If you have a visa, student visa, work visa, or any other visa, you should not travel. That's what people are telling. I have a different opinion, and I have repeatedly told this in my previous videos. There are thousands and thousands of people who are traveling regardless of whether they are US citizen or not, who are traveling outside the United States, and they have no problem coming back into the United States. Only people who have to worry about travel are the people who have anything in their background check. So if you had previous experience with the visa denials or extension denials or any kind of issue or RFEs during your extensions or visa stamping processes, then you need to be worried. If you had any kind of inadmissibility kind of issues such as DUI, multiple DUIs, domestic violence, arrest warrants, felony charges, or any of those serious offenses, then you need to be worried. Also, you need to be worried if you had any kind of overstay or unlawful presence in the United States. If you had that in the past, even if it was like for a month or two, then you got to be worried. But if you don't have any of those, then you don't need to worry about travel. As long as you have a stamp, valid stamp on your passport, as long as you have a advance payroll which is valid to come back, as long as you have green card to come back, you should not worry. And US citizens in particular, they need not worry. They have the constitutional right to return back to the United States merely due to the fact that they are US citizens. Many people are, specifically lawyers, are making a lot of videos that they are scaring people, do not travel, do not travel. Even they are scaring the green card holders and citizens. And I do not agree with that. To the people who I am talking with through my channel, very, very few people get into trouble, and they are for legitimate reasons. There are some news that come in the social media or in the news agencies, in the New York Times and Washington Post and all these, they are affiliated with the other side of the Trump administration. They are going to tell all kinds of stories, however rare they are. Even if there are a handful of stories that where people had problem coming back into the United States, they are going to publish them like crazy and scare the hell out of everybody. So don't pay attention to those stories. People are still traveling in thousands, coming back in thousands. Only people who are getting stopped or questioned or interrogated are the ones that have legitimate problems in their background cases. So that is my opinion. I wanted to cover this topic because I get inundated with questions on travel every week, and I wanted to cover it in my video. Put down in the comment section below if you had any kind of a problem re-entering in the United States and what was that about. You can be anonymous, but it will at least help me and rest of the viewers on this channel. Don't forget that my next EB1A masterclass is coming up on July 13th, Sunday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to sign up for that, please find the link in the description. Also note that I do not help to file any petitions because I am not an immigration lawyer. I don't suggest on any filing process or fees. I don't go through the actual forms of 485 or EB1A. All I do is give out information. So in my previous video, I talked about the EB1 frauds. Those are the consultants that are actually filing, they're actually filing cases, they are actually creating evidences for these people. And those are the fraudsters. In my case, I'm just giving out information in my EB1A class. I do not help anybody with filing, actual filing. I can give you suggestions on your paperwork once it's ready to fill in the gaps. That certainly I can do, but I cannot advise people on what to file, where to file, which form to file, what are the fees. I do not do that. But if you want to know what do criteria mean, what are the documentation needed, what are the kind of pitfalls to avoid, all those things are covered in my masterclass, and you might want to check that out. Also, before you leave, hit that like button. You will be put into the entry in the giveaway in my next video, and I'll see you in the next one.